Hi friends, here is a nice problem. We have this equation 2, 2 times mod of root x minus 3 plus root x times root x minus 6 plus 6 equal to 0. And we are looking for x which solves this equation and at the same time x greater than or equal to 0. X belongs to R. Obviously there is a root x. Obviously what that means is x should be greater than or equal to 0. Right, this is actually redundant. This part it doesn't matter. X should be greater than or equal to 0 if we are looking for real x. Right. Now the question is how many solutions are there for this equation? Is this is there no real solution? That means that this set is an empty set. This set S. That means how many x's are there in this set? Does this equation has only one solution or two solutions? Or four solutions. Two elements, four elements, one element mean how many solutions are there for this equation. This looks little clumsy, but we can observe one thing here. Root x minus 3. If we call this some y, root x minus 3, this is y plus 3 and this is y minus 3, right? Root x minus 3 plus 3 is root x minus 3 is root x minus 6. Basically, this is y plus 3 and y minus 3. Probably if we make this as some y, then we can convert this equation into quadratic equation. There is a mod here also. Let's see how do we handle that also. Okay, let us just assume root x minus 3 is y. Then what will this equation become? 2 mod y plus 3 into y minus 3 plus 6. That means if you simplify this, 2 mod y plus y square minus 3 square. Y plus 3 into y minus 3, y square minus 3 square. That is y square minus 9 plus 6, which is y square minus 3 equals 0. 2 mod y plus y square minus 3 equals 0. Okay. Now, what is y square? Y square is actually mod y square. It doesn't matter, right? Y is plus y minus y, still y square is always y square. That means y square you can write it as mod of y whole square. Okay. So that's how we can convert this into proper quadratic equation in terms of mod y square plus 2 mod y minus 3. Okay, so then while solving this, we can write this as mod y square plus 3 mod y minus 2 mod y, sorry, 3 mod y minus mod y minus 3 equals 0. What does that mean? Mod y plus 3, if you take mod y common, mod y then mod y plus 3 and minus 1 into mod y plus 3 equals 0. This means this equation will simplify to mod y plus 3 into mod y minus 3. So obviously that means mod y should be equal to minus 3 or mod y should be equal to 1. Okay. But mod y cannot be minus 3 because mod y always has to be positive. So this minus 3, this is clearly not a solution. So mod y equals 1. What does that mean? Y can be plus 1 or y can be minus 1. In both cases, mod y is equal to 1. But what is our y? Y is our root x minus 3. So root x minus 3 can be either plus or minus 1. What does that mean? Root x can be 3 plus 1, 4 or 3 minus 1, 2. Root x is 4 or 2. What does that mean? X equals 4 square or 2 square, which is 16 or 4. Okay, very good. So x equals 16 or 4. What does that mean? Our set S, our set S is the set of x's which is solving this equation. So we have two values of x that are solving this equation. Exactly two elements, right? Which are 16 and 4. Now, please let us look at this equation. This is important to understand the graphical significance also. 2 mod y, 2 mod y plus y square minus 3 equals 0. What does that mean? This is y square plus 2y minus 3 equals 0 if y is greater than 0. Right, if y is greater than 0, mod y is y. For example, 2.1, 2 mod 2 is 2. Right, mod minus 2 is minus of minus 2, which is again plus 2. That is, when y is less than 0, then this equation becomes y square minus 2y minus 3 equals 0. Right, because mod of y when y is less than 0 is minus y. So this equation is actually combination of these two equations, equation number 1 and equation number 2, right? This is when y is less than 0. Okay. Now, these two are proper quadratic equations. Y square plus 2y minus 3. What is this equation? If we try to draw this graph, this is in the form of ax square plus bx plus c. What is the vertex? Vertex is minus 1, right? Minus b by 2a. What is that? Minus 2 by 2a. That is this one. Okay. That is this one. So this graph y square plus 2y minus 3 is this blue one. This is y square plus 2y minus 3. Okay. That is this graph. This graph is applicable only when y is greater than 0. Okay. So when y is greater than 0. So that means this part. Please don't get confused. Here y means x. Okay. Okay. Don't get confused that y is, we are referring to y axis. Here y square, this is in the form of x square plus 2x minus 3. Okay. So y greater than 0. That means on the x axis, this part. The graph is actually this part. Whatever I am, this part, blue part of the graph, which is towards right of that is this part of the graph. Okay. Now, when y is less than 0, then this is y square minus 2y minus 3. What is this graph? This graph is actually this one. Okay. This graph is this one. Now, when y is less than 0, the graph should be this one. What is y less than 0 means? In this case, this part. Okay. So essentially, this graph 2 mod y plus y square minus 3. That is, if we call it as, if we write it in terms of 2 mod x plus x square minus 3. Okay. Or any other way. This graph is actually this part, this entire part till here, and this part till here. Basically, we are taking this graph when y is greater than 0 for this part, and when y is less than 0, then this part. Okay. The graph is actually these two lines. This is line 1 and this is line 2. Okay. The graph is combination of this one. It will look something like this. Okay. It is half taken from this graph and half taken from this graph. Okay. Because mod y, this equation is actually breaking down into two different equations. Right. Now, again, so this equation has to be 0. That means this graph has to be 0, this V graph, whatever we have decided. So that will happen at here, one point here, another point is here. What are those 2 points? Those 2 points are plus or minus 1. Y equals plus or minus 1. These are these 2 points. Okay, so we ignored on minus 3. Probably those are these points, minus 3 points that we ignored. So it doesn't matter now. So y plus or minus 1. Those are these 2 points. Okay. That is the significance this mod y brings. If it was just 2y plus y cube minus 3, then that would have been simply this blue graph. If it was y square minus 2y minus 3, it would have been simply this orange graph. But because of this mod y, blue graph we will take for y greater than 0. That means to the right side of this origin. And this orange graph we will take when it is to the left side of the origin. Right, guys? Hope you understood this. Thank you.